Morning everyone. So you've just seen how long it takes me to get pretty much from my house down onto the Walthamstow wetlands. Not bad, eh? All of about 2 minutes possibly. And here we are. What a lovely Sunday morning it is. A wee bit cold maybe, but crisp, bright and sunny. So today we're continuing to have a look at different aspects of my trike and my gear. And today is the turn of my stand assist bars and everything that's attached to them. We'll get to those in just a moment. I'd just like to introduce myself to those new subscribers that are joining every day at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. My name's Tim. And I'm riding a recumbent trike, and I ride it to lots of different places and make videos of those journeys for people on YouTube to enjoy. If you like this sort of thing, I hope you stick with me. I've got some tours coming up later on in the year, and at the moment I'm in the middle of making a series of ongoing joke short videos about all my gear and the trike. It's a bit of a joke because they're not actually that short at the moment. So I'm feeling a coffee coming on. We need to find somewhere where I can put the kettle on, and then we'll get down to today's subject matter. It's another lovely morning, it really is. Right then, so my water's boiling, ready for a coffee. Let's make a start. So when I did my review of the trike, I pointed out that I wasn't very happy with the way that these stand assist bars connect onto the main frame. It's just by means of a Jubilee clip, and no matter how tight you do those clips up, eventually they work loose. So since I've had the trike, I think twice now, I've taken them off completely and repacked tape underneath those connectors. Seems to do a good job for a while, but as I say, eventually they work loose. But it's good enough for me at the moment. I don't really feel the need to do any more permanent sort of fixings on it. I certainly don't want to go drilling holes in the main frame or anything like that just to connect the stand assist bars. Unlike in the review now, when I pull on these, you can see that there's, I mean, they flex a bit. It's certainly flexing at the top up here, but there's very little movement in the bottom, and they're not turning on the frame like they did before. As I say, they will do eventually. Eventually they will work loose, and then we'll have that problem and I'll have to repack them again with tape underneath. So other than that one downer, the stand assist bars really are a godsend for touring. offers so much space for putting gadgets and bottle cages, lights, mirrors, all sorts of things. So let's have a look, see what I'm using mine for today. So as I said yesterday, I've made some changes to the front of the Trike, namely the mirrors. I can't remember whether they broke off now. Was it Hertfordshire Part 1? I think it might have been. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up there somewhere. I never get the side right, so I'm not going to point. So one of my Bushmüller mirrors that came with the Trike broke off. It was actually not the mirror, it was just the little bolt that held it on. It sheared off. So there it is, there's the culprit, or what's left of it. This little bolt here sheared off, and that was what was holding the mirror on. So I've left what was left of the bolt in there. That's at the top of the front suspension. Can't think what the term is, but obviously the front suspension springs are in there. So I've left that in, otherwise there's a hole for moisture to get in at the top, and we don't want that. It's just unnecessary. You don't want dirt and muck getting in there. Where I've taken the other side off, I've blanked it off with a bolt. Put a small bolt in there to blank it off, so no moisture and dirt's getting in. So, those removed, what have I done instead? Well, we now have these. They're bicycle mirrors, made by Hafny. They're a safety mirror. This is stainless steel, polished stainless steel. It's not glass, so if I do come off or roll the Trike, there's no glass, that's just metal, it'll bend. These mirrors are on a ball joint just here, so I can adjust them any angle I want. Obviously if I hit something, they just go like that. So on the forward facing side of the mirror we have a reflective strip. That's something that the Bushmüller didn't have, so that will increase my visibility at night time. But what I did say was these are bicycle mirrors, and as such they're made to fit on handlebars that obviously run that way. So you can go to T-Cycle and get these little bars that attach onto the stand assists or any other vertical pole on the Trike, or you can go on Amazon and get these ones. I think they were just a few pounds, and what they are is just a handlebar extension, but I went for a specific one. This little bolt in here, you can loosen that off. This body then turns so it can fit on vertical bars or horizontal bars. Obviously that then comes out and we have this little handlebar extender. More real estate for me to put more gadgets on. I've tightened that up onto the rubber hand grip at the top of the stand assist. That offers some really good tight fit on there. So I'm quite happy with that. Same on both sides obviously. So on my left hand side, the mirror there is in the place where I used to have my front light, so I've just moved the front light over onto the handlebar extender. Obviously this front light is a little bit redundant now, given that we'll have the LEDs on the flagpole when I'm touring, so but for now it's good. Underneath that we have another bottle cage, so that's 2 bottle cages, one on each stand assist. And as I showed you a while back, we've got the quad lock on that one for my phone. And there's the phone from the front. As you can see at the moment, that's plugged in, charging to one of the battery packs in the side bag. I quite often travel with that plugged in. It is no bother at all having that cable there. I can pull it a little bit tighter than what it is at the moment. So this is my view from the cockpit, and one of the biggest advantages for me of these new mirrors is my mirror is now there, and it used to be down there. So as you can see, I now have mirrors at almost eye line. They're not quite, they're a little bit below. I mean, I wouldn't want them right up in front of my face anyhow, but I like that. That to me is one of the biggest advantages of changing my mirrors, is having them up there. It's just a quick glance, and sometimes not even a glance. You see things coming up behind you just in your peripheral vision without having to look all the way down at the front wheels. So that's my stand assist bars. all I can say is I wouldn't be without them. If anybody's thinking about getting something like that, or if you can get them attached to your trike, do, because they're not only useful for standing up out of the trike. As you can see, I'm using them for all sorts of things. They're expensive too. The HPV ones are quite a price, but I had to have them anyhow, and I'm glad I did, to be honest. Of all the things on the trike, like I said, I have a downer in the way they're attached, but really, really useful. Look at this. The sun's about to go in, and it's about to start raining again. That looks like a thunderstorm, actually. April showers. Yeah, I've just checked on the weather radar. There's some light showers coming through. Might get a little bit damp. I'm not too far from home, so I'm not really that bothered. Right, so one or two other things that I wanted to chat about, especially the things that came up from our preventative maintenance chat that we had the other day in the comments. Thank you for all your help and advice on that. We're not reaching a consensus on the idler, the chain idler. I think I'm going to have to get a professional to look at that and see whether it needs replacing. On balance, I think it probably does need changing. I've also gone out and bought one of these, which I'm now going to use on the chain. So let's have a look. This is a chain measuring tool, and this one's 0.75 and 1. So I'm going to sit the tool in there and let it drop down. This is on the 0.75 side. Oh dear, look at that. It drops right in quite easily. And on the 1, so yeah, it's almost dropping right in on that one as well. It's just catching. Time for a new chain. I mean, it's probably got a few miles left in it yet, but what's the point? I'm certainly going to need it changed before I go touring. If I'm going to change that, I may as well change the idler as well. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But thanks to you guys for pointing out the need for that tool. There we go, we've measured it, we found that we need a new chain. Even if we don't need a new chain today, we're going to need one very, very soon. Might as well do it. It is preventative maintenance after all. So before we get on to the comments from yesterday's video, I'd just like to point out that I think I have 2, possibly 3 days left of doing these daily videos, mainly because I'm running out of topics to talk about. If there is anything that I haven't discussed yet and you really want to hear about or see on the trike, please let me know in the comments below. The 2 topics that come to mind at the moment that I am going to talk about over the next couple of days are, one was food, which is a topic that I really enjoy, and the other one was health and fitness. Yeah, that was it. I had to think about it for a second there, but yeah, health and fitness and food. So we've got those 2 topics to come. I think there might have been another one, not sure. But anyway, as I say, if you've got any other topics that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments and we'll get that done. I'm quite happy to keep making these daily videos for as long as we have something to talk about, but I don't want them to become stale and boring. So it's really got cold now that sun's gone in. Need to move. Just remembered that I forgot to say about the other mirrors. I've kept the Bush mirrors, mainly because I didn't know whether these ones would work out or not. But should I need to, I can always put them back on again. They were quite expensive, so I didn't want to throw them away. Let's make a move and answer some of these comments. So I suppose first we have to mention yesterday's use of the monopod with the camera on the end of that to put some distance between me and the lens. As always, there's no consensus on the comments. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people prefer the closer, some people prefer it further away. So I think what I intend to do is I'll mix it up. If there's something over there that's really interesting and good to look at, I'll stick the monopod on. And but if we're just going along the same old bit of road, that sort of thing, and I'm chatting, then obviously I'll bring you a bit closer. I hope that'll suit most people. But thanks for your feedback on it. It is helpful to know what people want. I think it was Graham also suggested using a lavalier mic attached to my phone and recording separate audio to pictures. Yes, I could do that. Do I want to? Not really. It's a lot of extra work syncing up the two afterwards. I do have a lapel mic, but I very early days chose to not use it. Greg, well done on getting out there, mate. So yeah, I use my cameras in a very basic way, but the G7X MkII is anything but a basic camera. There's a lot more to it than what I explained yesterday. As I said, I leave that little button in the one position and it does what I need it to do. But it's got all sorts. I mean, if you watch some of the reviews for that camera on YouTube, some of the professional reviewers, they can do some amazing things with it. But when I was looking to buy the camera, I saw that, you know, it was what I needed. Very easy to use and get some good results without too much technical knowledge. Anthony, are you sure you only have a Spark Drone? I can't believe you get the sort of footage you do out of a Spark Drone. Anybody who hasn't seen Anthony Payne's channel yet, please do go and have a look. Anthony walks around some of the mountains and hills in the UK, and his editing skills and video skills are just superb. I hope you get out there again soon, Anthony, because I really like watching your stuff. But to come on here and tell me that you've only got a Spark Drone, I would be so amazed to be able to get pictures like you do out of my drone. So a couple of people also yesterday mentioned about me getting a fairing, a front fairing, to save my poor old cold feet. I've looked at them and I'm sort of mixed opinion on them. They would definitely sort my cold feet problem, I suppose, and I gather they also improve your wind resistance. Yeah, my biggest concern with a front fairing though is cost. They're enormously expensive. And Lauren, yeah, the farmer won't be getting any milk from those cows for a little while. It's difficult to see from the drone footage, I know, but they were only about a couple of months old, I think. Silly little calves. But yeah, I don't like worrying animals like that. I didn't realise they were going to run around. But as you saw on the video, I sent the drone up higher as soon as I realised it was worrying them. And I didn't go near them again. So that's about it for today, guys. Hopefully it's not gone on too long. Don't know whether it'll make it under 15 minutes, but we'll see. As I say, I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Tomorrow I'm going to look at food. I might even cook something up. We'll see. And on Tuesday I'll be looking at health and fitness of riding a trike. As I said before, I can only tell you what works for me. I'm not a doctor, but I'm happy to discuss what the benefits are for me of riding a trike. And then if you guys have any other suggestions of any topics that we could talk about after Tuesday, who knows, something might crop up before Wednesday. But as always, I'd just like to thank you all for your participation in the comments. Really appreciated. If you like this video, please tick the little thumb below. As I always say, it helps my channel to grow, and I'd be really appreciative of it. Right, that's it for today then, guys. I'm going to do another couple of miles around the marshes here, just to keep my daily mileage up, and I will see you tomorrow. You have a good day. Cheers. Ta-da.